Data captures almost every aspect of our lives. How do we know if it's handled safely? With laws and regulations changing differently across countries, how do we as offshoring professionals respond? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to OBP Connect. I'm Bea, and this is the official offshoring podcast brought to you by Offshore Business Processing, where connections meet solutions for your success. In this episode, we're going to dive into a much debated topic, ensuring data protection and compliance in offshoring. Still in the middle of a very busy season, we are facing more than taxes. It is also the peak of audits, making this a timely moment to discuss where we stand on data protection and compliance. For the first time on a podcast, we are joined by two special guests. Sir Carlo, our Information Technology Security Officer, and Sir Dannie, our Compliance Officer here at OBP. So welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, Bea.
We're so happy to have you both here today. So to start, a brief introduction.
Okay, I can go first. Hello to our listeners. I'm Carlo, IT Security Officer at OBP. I've been working here for almost 3 years with a background in IT infrastructure and security, which includes overseeing data privacy.
Nice. Welcome, Sir Carlo. And Sir Dannie?
Hi everyone. My name is Dannie, Compliance Officer at OBP. I have spent nearly a year working here in the DPO department.
Awesome. So now I know our listeners would love to know more about you. Let's move on to our first segment. This will be very interesting since we have two guests for the first time. So let's just go with Sir Carlo's answers first and then Sir Dannie.
Sure.
Go for it.
All right, it's time to fast track and fire away. I'll be asking 5 quick questions about you and your work and just say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. So in 3, 2, 1, favorite part of your job?
Collaboration.
Auditing.
Hardest thing to explain about what you do?
How to protect data in layman's term.
The technical aspects.
Most common misconception about your role?
That we are snobbish, I think.
That auditing is about looking for mistakes.
A part of your work that really tests your skills?
Investigation.
Technicalities of IT.
Most important task in your role?
Compliance with local and international data privacy.
Same strict compliance, specifically corporate compliance for internal and external requirements.
And that's fast track. Thank you so much for those speedy answers. It really gave us a peek into what you do. The snobbish one was really funny. Maybe the seriousness of your role, Sir Carlo, is contributing to that. Now that that's out of the way, here we are across the desk. So let's hear it. Let's start with the basics first. So Sir Carlo, Sir Dannie, what rules should you know before sharing data with a company from a different country?
Well, you should first know the local privacy law of that country where you will do the offshoring. For example, in the Philippines, we have RA 10173 or Data Privacy Act. That law requires that any foreign data is secure at a comparable level with the standards of our clients.
Oh, that makes sense.
I would say the same. They need to check the local requirements regarding data protection while also considering international requirements.
Or if there's a contract, they should have data sharing agreement.
Yes, to identify if they have any other requirements.
Right. So given this, does sharing data offshore affect compliance with regulations?
There can be a risk since there are different data privacy rules or security control requirements per country.
Yes, to give an example, Europe has GDPR law, which is very different from the Philippines DPA. With that, they just really need to review the laws of both countries to meet their level of expectations. If they don't, that's when you will have a compliance violation.
So both have to align with each other.
Yes, that is if there are requirements that our clients are requiring. But if there is none, we can refer to the local laws. That's why, as mentioned by Sir Carlo, there's need to be a contract that indicates the requirements because they may have different standards. That's the GDPR for Europe, right, Sir Carlo?
Yes.
Yeah, because also internally, the clients remains responsible for protecting their data and their people. Although they offshore their processes to us, the protection of their data is still within their control.
Ah, I see.
Yes, they'll be the one to decide on these requirements.
If they have requirements that are initially covered, that's when we add them to the agreement.
That's a great point on client responsibility. Speaking of how data is handled, does the work setup itself play a role? What is the impact of data privacy in a work from home versus an on-site work setup?
Yes, work from home has more risk since people are working outside their controlled environment. They could have an unsecured home internet connection or they could risk exposure from personal devices.
Yes, and to add to that, requirements don't change, but how we enforce them does. When we're on site, it's easier for us to secure and monitor, while working from home relies a lot on the employee's awareness.
That's right. A secure setup makes a successful one, and it starts with choosing a reliable partner. In fact, OBP is a stellar CargoWise certified partner that can offer just that. Leagues above other businesses, we have experts in various roles and exceptional consulting services. To get you started, you can visit our website at offshorebusinessprocessing.com and get this quick guide for free under the Resources tab in the brochures page. Now let's get specific. Case in point, real scenarios, real answers. So, Sir Carlo, Sir Danny, if a company wants to offshore, what are the key things they should consider for data and compliance?
Apart from considering the local law, internal policies, and overall offshoring business, they should also consider the certification for data and compliance.
Yes, the good thing is being certified with certain certifications, because some don't offshore to companies that aren't certified.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so consider the certifications to qualify the offshoring providers.
As for the benefits, well, our purpose is data protection. We'll make sure our clients' data is handled safely.
Right, that's when we can really narrow down our choices. Okay, now, Sir Carlos, Sir Danny, let's put our listeners in our shoes. If a regulator asked how OBP protects offshore data, how would you respond?
Simply put, we are compliant with the Data Privacy Act. We also have the ISMS 27001. We have strict security controls within the company. We do assessments and regular audits with the compliance team as well. So clients can be assured that we are accountable for protecting their data.
Accountability, yes, for sure.
And we're complying with the requirements of the National Privacy Commission, or the NPC. We are certified in multiple standards, including ISMS, which we obtained recently. This required us to implement and follow stricter controls.
You put that quite nicely. Certified in multiple standards, which means we have the ability to power multiple industries as well, such as freight forwarding, finance, healthcare, and more. You can learn how our services fit in your industry by visiting offshorebusinessprocessing.com. Explore our free visual references under the Resources tab in the infographics page. Now, let's consolidate these learnings and explore the mindset we take moving forward. Let's wrap up with a sign-off. So, Sir Carlo and Sir Danny, how would you two, in your respective roles and expertise, address the concern that the laws may consider offshoring to be riskier?
I think we'd say the same. Having an ISMS certification means we have clear guidelines on how to protect the data.
Yes, and we also assess the risk. Before entering contract, client can assess risk to know if there will be a big issue. There are data processing agreements and privacy clauses being agreed upon.
Okay, so that means that these concerns will be raised before things get implemented.
Yeah, so it's not that it's against offshoring. In these laws, there's actually clauses about protecting data transfer to another country. There's institutions and frameworks that already recognize and practice how to do it safely.
Right.
Yes, data protection law aren't against offshoring practices. It's just stricter protection measures and data transfer to another country is included in that.
That's a good way to sum it up. It's just about being stricter. All right, for our listeners, could you summarize how to evaluate if an offshore provider meets compliance and security standards?
Okay, it all boils down to compliances with local data privacy laws. If they hold certifications and depending on their process, it could be HIPAA or SOC 2, ISOs, things like that.
During the project plan or kickoff meeting, all requirements pertaining to data protection should be identified. It's the customer requirements that we need to comply to.
Yes, they will usually give their requirements which can also include sharing our data. So on our end, we will also set our own clauses and limitation regarding the sharing of our data.
Right, so this will be discussed and decided upon first and foremost.
Yeah, and I think that's the most basic requirements in data protection, right? There should be a consent from the data subject.
Yes, that's also one thing. Like if we need to share our employees' data with the client, we need their consent.
Yes, good to point that out. And I think that's all the time we have for today. It was nice to learn a little bit about what goes on in data and compliance. I would have loved to hear more. And I hope our listeners picked up a thing or two. Thank you again, Sir Carlo and Sir Dannie, for sharing your thoughts and knowledge on this matter.
Thank you, Bea.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you everyone for listening. You can follow Offshore Business Processing on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube for more industry insights. And for more information on our services, just visit offshorebusinessprocessing.com. This has been OBP Connect, where connections meet solutions for your success.